In this video, I'm just going to go through the basics of how you can reconcile your bank account in Xero and post your bank statement lines. So I've logged into my Xero account and I've just come into the bank account section just so I can see an overview. The first thing that I'm just going to run through is I can see here that I've got to reconcile 28 items. So that's 28 lines in my bank statement that needs some of my attention. I can also see here that I've got a statement balance and then I've got a balance in Xero. Now these are different. The reason that they're different is because the balance in Xero is going to be made up of the lines that you have posted into your accounts. So the difference between the two is probably going to be these 28 items that I haven't yet reconciled. So if I click onto those, so I get onto a screen like this. Now running down the left hand side is all the lines from my bank statement that have been fed through on my bank feed. Running down the right hand side is where I'm going to tell Xero what I want to do with each of these bank statement lines. Now we have 4 different options for each one of these lines. The first option will be to match. So we'll use this if we want to match this amount to an outstanding item either with a customer or a supplier. The next option is create. So this is if you want to do a cash transaction. So for example, if it was a small payment made and there's no invoice that you need to match against and you want to just post it directly to an account code, you can use the create button for this. Next option is transfer. So that's if you've made a transfer between 2 of your bank accounts, you would use this option. And the last option is discuss. So that's if you're not sure perhaps where to post the bank statement line and you want to leave a note on it for one of your colleagues or for yourself if you log back in later, just to leave a little comment on there and put it on hold essentially. So we're going to run through a few examples. You can see on these top 2 examples here, Xero's done most of the work for us. So it's actually found a supplier with the same name as the reference on the bank statement line, and it's also found an invoice of the matching amount as well. So it's kind of made a suggestion for you there, and all you would need to do is just check it, and if you're happy with it you can click OK. So that has now come out of our workload. So essentially we're just working through all these lines and we are just making the list smaller as we work through them. So it's the same with the second one here. So it's already found this invoice for me and I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to click OK. So if we scroll down and look at this smart agency line. Now I know that this is an invoice that I want to match against. So we're going to use this first option here, the match option. So when you click onto that, what it's going to do is it's going to bring up a list of all your outstanding invoices that you may want to match against. Now you can filter this by name, reference, by an amount, and you can make this list a bit smaller. So if you know it's a particular supplier or customer. Now this amount actually matches to 2 invoices, so they've sort of paid for 2 in 1. So I can see them here. So it's my smart agency, this one here, and down below this one. So I've selected those 2 amounts and that actually does come down to 0. I can see that it's gone green and there's no remainder. So that's all fine and I can click reconcile. And that has now been dealt with and those invoices are no longer outstanding. The next option that we spoke about was the create option. So these are maybe for your small cash transactions that you don't want to match against an invoice. You can see an example of that here. So when they've clicked create, you just need to fill in the information. So you'll put in who the payment was to or what it was for. You'll select your account code here. So for this one it was bank fees. And you'll put in a reason why or a description in here. Now, if you want to split it across more than one nominal code, you can just add details here. it will bring up this screen, and here's where you could split it across multiple nominal codes if you wanted to put, for example, £10 to admin fees and £5 to bank fees or something like that. And all you would need to do is just save that transaction and click reconcile. Next option is your transfer option. So I'm just going to use this statement line here just to show you. So I only have one other bank account, so that's why I only have the one option, my business savings account. I can pop in a reference if I want to as well, and I'll just click OK. If I had more than 2 bank accounts, I would have all my different bank accounts listed here, and I would just select the one that I'm transferring across to. And you would just click OK. And then the last option, as we discussed, was the discuss option. So again, this is just if you want to leave a note on your bank statement. So this note here says this is for an old invoice, I wasn't sure where to code it, and that's essentially put that one on hold. So that's sort of your basics on how you can reconcile your bank account. In the second video, I'll go through some more complex examples. So for example, part payments, setting up some bank rules as well, so that you're not having to manually input for each of your cash transactions. It will sort of suggest those for you.